State assessment practice. Let's look at how you can prepare your students for these state assessments that they're going to have to take. So in PA, the state standardized tests, if you're one of the teachers that gives them, you're all too familiar with these terms, are the PSSA and the Keystone exams. When you're building assessments, you want to build them so that they mirror the question types on the state assessments. And let me just point out that, yes, if you're giving the PSSA or you're giving the Keystone exam, that's your subject area. And I can speak for myself. I teach biology, which is a Keystone tested subject area. If I am a social studies teacher, though, and I don't have a Keystone exam yet, there's no reason why I can't start building my assessments to help kids to learn how to answer questions like they are written on these standardized tests. So maybe, even though it's not my content area, I want to take a look at question forms and how they're written so that I can maybe start moving my assessments into that type of format, looking at that type of layout and that type of language, and start modeling those types of questions in my class to help prepare the kids when they have to take these exams in these other content areas. Because a lot of the times it's about how well do I know how to analyze and read a question that's going to then help them get to that next level, either be it proficiency or advanced. So that's one of the major things you want to do. You want to teach them how to read the question. Find the important information. If you've ever seen a standardized test, a lot of times you'll see that there's a question within the question that they really need to find. And that is the important part, because if they don't find the real question that's being asked, then they can't really answer that question. So they may know the content area, they may know the concept that the question is analyzing, but they just get confused when reading the question. So it's important to practice those types of questions in your class. Also, you're going to want to teach them how to eliminate answer choices. How do I take my answer choices from 4 down to 2? And then how do I start recognizing distractors from the correct answer? So practice of the exam doesn't necessarily mean teaching to the test. It's practicing a way of looking and analyzing text, really, if you want to think of it that way. And a strong correlation with this word right here. We find that the kids do not know everyday Tier 2 vocabulary words, things like composition, structure. They need to know these words in order to answer the question. So they may know the makeup of a protein, but when you use the word composition instead of makeup, they get confused and don't know how to answer the question. So there's a huge focus on vocabulary of everyday Tier 2 words that needs to happen when you're preparing students to take a state assessment.